we go. Sorry. Good morning, Falric. My mic was cutting out there. Good morning, David. Good morning, Duck Boy. Meet Pete Hadia. Link not working. Are you talking about the one I posted for Twitch? Oh, that would be because I misspelled it. One second. Let me try that again. It's supposed to be freeborn, not freebore. Hold on. I'll try again. I'm not perfect, okay? But thank you for letting me know though. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't said anything. It would have just been broken the whole time. Good morning, Mohan? Mohan, I think that's how you say your name. Good morning. Try this again. There we go. There we go. Now that's the right link. There we go. You know, see, I've done this a time or two before. This isn't my first rodeo. Help, we've given product a plan known as a product roadmap. Now they think we have solid dates for multiple features a year in advance. We'll never make it. Dude. So let me... Okay. So first off, before I do this, before I say anything about what you just said, I want to show you this clip from this interview that I watched. Hold on. It's a really good interview, but the guy in the interview says something that relates to what you just said so perfectly. Let's see if I can find it. It's a 5-hour long interview, so let me see if I can find it real quickly.
There's 3 types of fun. Fun for the...
Sorry, that was the interview.
So when Titan was...
Oh, I can't find it, man. There's no way to find it. Okay, I'll just tell you what he said. So basically what he said was, you never want to show anything with dates to executives, especially not on a PowerPoint, because they will take it as if it's etched in stone. like how good is that, right? It's like, I think he actually said they'll take it like it was etched in stone and brought down from the mountain, as like a reference to Moses. And I just laughed my head off because it's so true, man. The minute you tell the business folks you have a timeline or you have a roadmap, it's game over. Your life now belongs to them. I'll also share that interview with you guys. I think you'll like it. It's with the game designer of Overwatch. It's good. Literally going to take multiple sprints to undo this. Oh no, it'll be fine, man. It'll be like a story point or two. You know, you'll be good. Falric, I'm half awake. Glad you're here, so I can wake up with your energy. Nice. I don't know if my energy is good or not, but it's definitely my energy. Oh, Jeff Kaplan. Yes, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it's honestly a development philosophy problem. It really is. Truest thing I've heard. It really is the truest thing I've heard. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a project where somebody like gave an estimate and all of a sudden that was like translated up 3 levels of the executive team, and now the CEO is talking about the random date that you threw out. It'll work fine as long as they understand we'll miss every deadline and have to change the plan. Exactly. Yeah. That's what you call project management. TM. Just put that in the chat. Alright. I think we're going to start this morning by continuing to try to give my Discord bot a little personality with an LLM. And then I don't know what we'll do after that. I don't think that'll take the full time. Famous last words, but I don't think it will. Steve's bot. My hopes are up because the POs have tons of experience, so they understand flexible deadlines, etc. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all made up anyways. You know? Like all the timelines and the product roadmaps and the 3-month quarters, and it's all made up, you know? People get so worked up about it. That's the thing I don't understand. It's like, if you're working at a company, like I think most of us here probably work for a company if you do have a job. And the thing is, most of us are there for one thing. We're there because we need a paycheck, right? Like, whether it's you or it's your boss or your boss's boss, like, most of us are just there. We're collecting a paycheck. We don't really get any financial incentive if the company does better or worse. I mean, in some cases, there are bonus programs and employee stock option programs and that sort of thing. But in most cases, like, we're just a W-2 employee. But for whatever reason, we all make it so hard on each other. I don't understand that. Like, we we should all get together and start a secret club that's like, guys, how do we make our jobs as easy as possible for each other to do the least amount of work and get the most amount of pay? Like that. Let's all get together and
Did
let's
we
game
just
the
become
system.
best friends?
Pithu, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm sorry, I'm a new viewer. I don't know what script this is about, but I like seeing your neat code writing, bro. Well, thanks. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah. Yo, Steven, I want your opinion. I vibe coded an app in a language I don't know anything about. It broke miserably. Do you recommend just rewriting it manually or just keep prompting and wish it works? If it was me, I guess it depends on how far you're getting with the prompting thing. Like, if you prompted a whole app and you feel comfortable prompting your way out of this corner that you've worked your way into, then I don't see anything wrong with that. Especially if you don't really have a desire to actually learn how to code, you know? But if you actually wanted to learn how to code like that, like you actually wanted to become a programmer or learn how to do this stuff beyond just talking to an LLM, then I would encourage you to spend some time, maybe not rewriting it manually, but at least going through the code, maybe doing a little bit of refactoring, trying to understand what the LLM did for you, and see if you can't suss out how to fix it. It largely depends on like what's your goal here, right? Is your goal just to like build this app, ship it, make money, or is your goal to like develop a craft or a skill of building stuff? Is the Jeff Kaplan an Activision guy? Just guessing from the title of this interview. He's not anymore. He was originally one of like the first couple hundred employees at Blizzard, and then he worked there I think till like 2021. Like it was like a couple of years before the Overwatch 2 launch, and then he left because of some disagreements with the Blizzard management team. But the interview is good, yeah. Ronit, hello? James, AI rules. I swear, James, you gotta make some t-shirts, man. Let's see, have you tried easy.net? That is much better than OmniSharp. I have not tried easy.net. And the one reason I have not switched over to easy.net is they use the Roslyn LSP. And right now, the Roslyn LSP is in a really weird position where it's not part of the official Mason registry. And the way people get a hold of the Roslyn LSP is kind of I guess I shouldn't say the Roslyn LSP. I should say the Roslyn language server is kind of hacky. It's not really totally clear if Microsoft is really publishing it for other people to use or not, or how consistent or committed they are to that. So I'm avoiding making the switch to Roslyn or to easy.net or to the Roslyn language server until Mason officially adopts it into their registry. So I just kind of keep an eye on that. But I will agree, the Roslyn LSP is way better. Or the Roslyn language, sorry, I keep saying that. The Roslyn language server is way better than OmniSharp, for sure. That's what VS Code uses, or the C# dev kit. That's what they use. Good morning, David. Okay, that's good because Blizzard's products went in the dumpster once Microsoft bought them. Yeah. Yeah, Microsoft's going through it. Microsoft Gaming, Xbox, they're in a transitional time. They have a product roadmap, Dota. Don't you worry. They have a product roadmap. If we're still talking about deadlines and stuff, Cash has an interview with Andreas Fredrickson. Really good stuff. Okay, I'll put that on my list. I like the Cash podcast. He kind of had, he's so, I don't know about you guys, but he's so different from any other content creator I see out there on the internet. Just the way he speaks and his overall demeanor and stuff. It's really refreshing, honestly. I think a lot of people might find him kind of like nerdy or quiet, or I don't know what the right way to describe it is, but his content is actually super, 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 super good. What was it called? What'd you say his name was? Fredrickson? Fredrickson. Fredrickson. There we go. I put it on the list, man. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Sup, the Black Elephant? Good to see you. Only 90 minutes better than 5 hours. Dude, that interview is worth it though. I tell you what, like, yeah, he says one of the things he says in that interview, that Jeff Kaplan interview, that was just so good. He said, what do you say? He said developers should know their worth and not hand over the golden goose to people who don't deserve it. And I love that idea of like, stop letting other people tell. Developers need to stop letting other people to tell them how their craft should be done, how their work should be done, and what their value is to the world, right? Like, just stop. Crime documentaries are way more interesting to me. I like true crime. Yeah, I'm a true crime guy. I only listen to JS developers with 6 months of experience. Dang, man. I don't know if I'll make that cut. That's a deep requirement you have. Yeah, it's like he still has the innocence of a child getting excited about stuff. Yeah, it is very, well, you can tell he's interviewing a lot of people he really, really looks up to, which must be really, really cool for him to be able to sit with these people and kind of pick their brain. I think he had Jonathan Blow on there recently, right? Because I can just only imagine being able to talk to some of your heroes like that for an extended period of time. Roni, just a quick question. I'm very bad at mathematics. I can't do algebras, but in this AI era, there's no other option without learning it. If I try to be AI engineer or Gen AI dev, require math. Well, I guess I don't know, Rahid. I think if you want to be on the model building side, the model training side, yes, it seems like you're going to have to learn some math. You're going to have to know linear algebra. You're going to need to know your matrix multiplication. If that's what you mean by AI engineer, Gen AI dev. Now, I've seen other people refer to AI engineer as somebody who takes basically more like an applied AI person, is what I've seen other people use AI engineer to refer to, meaning I'm an AI engineer because I take models and put them into applications to build features. I think if you're doing that type of engineering, well, then I don't necessarily know if math is really that required. Probably some statistics you're gonna need to know your statistics a little bit, how to do sampling, because a lot of building with AI or figuring out whether or not you've done a good job with implementing an AI feature or an agent has to do with evaluations. And you're going to need to know how to run statistical analysis to perform those evaluations. But if you mean you want to like build models and things like that, yeah, you're going to have to become like a machine learning person, right? So I don't really have any advice on that other than do lots of math. Do lots of math. Get lots of reps. Dota, does he own any guitars? Wonder if he can play music. Who? Who are you talking about, Dota? Because I cannot play any music. Pretty sure the local music shop has fewer guitars than this. Oh, are you talking about like... I don't actually know what you're talking about. Just ask AI about the math questions. Easy. Yeah, bro. Just ask AI, man. Busy Slim. I can't remember last time I really did complex math. So, Busy Slim, are you in that space? Like what Ronit is talking about being working with machine learning and building models and stuff? Are you in that world? The black elephant. Machine learning is kind of interesting. Yeah, for sure. It's very interesting. There's so many fields that are interesting, you know? Dota. Andreas Fredrickson has roughly 20 guitars behind him. Oh, in the interview? I haven't seen the interview, so that's why that went over my head. No, I'm more in your world in implementation of features. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think like if you're doing that type of stuff, like if you're working on how do you take these language models in today's world, how do you take large language models and make them useful? I don't think math is as important, but if you're on the side of like how do I actually build a large language model, yeah, it seems like you gotta have a firm grasp of that stuff. Although I say that, and I don't want to shit on anybody who's in the machine learning field or who's in that, because I do know it's complicated, right? But for most of the exposure I've had to it, it seems like a lot of people are just working with Python libraries. Like they're just like they take a bunch of they're like, kind of like playing with Legos. Like they're not coming up with new math equations. They're taking classes and methods and functions from these libraries that other people have built, and then they're kind of scaffolding out this script or this code that does the thing it's supposed to do, and then they just like tweak parameters and trial and error. So I say that because I'm skeptical how much in their daily life they really do math. I think it's probably good that they understand the math, but how much they actually interact with the underlying math is probably not that much, if I had to imagine. Because once somebody implements it, there's no reason for them to go and re-implement the math, right? You're just going to call some method that does it for you. The guy looks like a metalhead. Would bet he's a decent rhythm guitarist. That's the largest guitar collection I've ever seen. Nice. I'm listening in from South Sudan. Here people take AI as miracle, but I work for an NLP firm. We handle a lot of models. Nice. Very cool. Well, I mean, AI does feel like a miracle. I think we've all probably had that AI pill moment where it was like, oh my God, how did it know that's what I wanted? But yeah, it seems like maybe the technology is not as new as people think it is, but this is the first time we've had the technology that's as good as it is. James, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and I think Candle for Rust. I think Llama is in C or C++. Yeah, I'm not trying to say that those people aren't smart or don't know what they're doing. I guess I just mean I don't know how many people are actually doing like who are solving differential equations or solving complex linear algebra problems or doing complex matrix multiplication on a daily basis. They're just calling code that does it all for them. Now they might know how to do it by hand, but they don't actually do it. So I was just going back to what Ronit said. It's like you probably do need to have a theoretical grasp on it, right? But like, do you necessarily need to become like a PhD level in it to work in it? I don't know. Zubtastic, hey, I've seen your shorts. What are you coding / making? Well, so we're kind of in between projects at the moment, but what we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to hook my Discord bot or finish hooking my Discord bot up to an LLM so that it has like kind of like a little bit of a personality and people can tag it in messages and stuff. just for fun. But that's what we're doing this morning. We might do some other stuff depending on how much time we have. I just basically wake up and sit down at the keyboard and try to have some fun and write some code and enjoy myself, maybe learn something. We were building a personal finance app there for several weeks, but now we've kind of paused that while it's in testing. Black elephant, like Grok? Like Grok what? So long as someone wrote the unit test working, then that's good enough for the complex math. Yeah, you would think. You would, and you would think as just like we as developers want to use libraries that are battle tested, you would think machine learning people and data scientists and whoever is building these models, you would think they'd want to use code that's battle tested, right? But better we all use the same implementation that's well understood, well tested, than each of us have our own implementation. The Discord bot should work like Grok. I don't know, man. Grok is I'm hooking it up to Gemini. Grok is a little too liberal for me. Some of the shit you can get Grok to say is kind of wild. But it's gonna kind of be like that. The idea is to be able to just tag it in messages and it will respond to the message. That's the basic idea. So what you're saying is dead on with what I had in mind. And we have it we sort of have it working already. We just have to get a response from the language model. So you can see we kind of already have it going here. So let's do .NET run. What is your tech stack like? So excuse me. This project is all in .NET. It's just let's see, we have a worker process that acts as the bot that runs on a server, just a private server, and then we have a webhook that also runs alongside the worker that listens for incoming requests from YouTube so that I can notify Discord if I go live. So it's kind of two applications that make up the bot currently, but they're both .NET C# applications. One's just a worker template, and the other is a minimal API that we use as a webhook. Oh goodness, what just happened? Let's see, OTOP tracer. Oh, I don't have Docker desktop running. And that's what I build most things in. Like if you give me a choice, I'm probably going to build the backend in C#. Although I kind of have become, excuse me, ugh, I've kind of become Rust-pilled a little bit. Isn't Gemini expensive? It won't be terrible. It's not a new project; it's an existing project. It won't be terrible because I'm on the free plan, for this particular project, I'm on the free plan. So once I exceed those limits, they'll just rate limit me. I'm not gonna actually pay. I'm not gonna pay to do that. This is just for fun. So we'll basically make it so that once we hit the rate limit, the bot will just respond with arbitrary text like, "Sorry, I've gone away," or "Sorry, I'm busy right now," or something like that. But yeah, we won't rack up a bill from it. Black Elephant. .NET, wow, Stone Age. I just don't like Microsoft apart from VS Code and TypeScript. Oh, that's fair. I like .NET. I like C# a lot. Kurt, switch models when you hit the limit. I guess you could, but I was just gonna pick the cheapest model with the best free limit. I think Flash 1.5 right now has the best free limit at the moment. Just look. Gemini API limits. Let's see, usage tier, free. Yeah, free tier. Oh, I guess they took 1.5 off. So it looks like 2.0 flashlight does 10,000 tokens. No, that's not the right thing. Sorry. View your active rate limits in API Studio. Let's see, we want free tier. Gemini 2.2 flash. So you can do 2,000 requests per minute, 4 million tokens per minute. Requests per day is unlimited. So that's probably what I'll end up using, is just whatever the least capable model with the best limits. Or maybe 2.5 flashlight. Man, there's a lot. They have a lot of different models. I didn't even realize they have a computer use preview model. Gemini Robotics ER 1.5 preview. I don't even know what some of these models are. I gotta blow my nose real quick, sorry. Good morning, Kevin. Hello, Steven. I build an open source alternative of Run.js, a fork of Wizard.js. Want to check it out? Sure, yeah, you can send me the link. The best place to send me project stuff is in Discord. Oh. Kevin, yeah, and each of one of those was 8 figures to train. That's crazy. I want to be an AI model. Give me 8 figures. I'll go train. The only model is Opus or Quincoder Local. Nicely. Nice. Nicely. Nice. I don't know why I said nicely. Yeah, I don't really I don't really care that much about the whole AI thing. I work with it because the market right now kind of demands that you have knowledge about it, but beyond that, I could really care less. I use it as a tool that serves me. There's a really weird thing happening right now around AI where people are just they've just completely lost the
Did
plot.
we just become best friends?
Jeffrey, thanks for the sub. I don't know if you guys saw
Did
Sam
we just
Altman.
become best friends?
Dakulang, thanks for the follow. Sam Altman raising energy. I don't know if you guys saw this. Clip. It's kind of wild. Let me see if I can find it. It's just it's a very weird obsession that people have with AI. It's almost like they're obsessed with AI for AI's sake. Like AI has become a little bit of like a religious idol almost, it seems like. See if I can find it. Yeah, I think this is it right here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my goodness. Get it together, Steven. Alright, this is him talking about comparing the needs of energy
this comparison is people talk about how much energy.
He's comparing the needs of energy for AI inference to like the energy it takes to raise a human being. It's the weirdest thing I've heard anyone say.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you.
I just realized this has background music. I'm probably gonna get hit with a copyright because of that.
And then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way.
It's such a weird comparison. Like what a weird thing to say. Like, oh, AI is more energy efficient, so like that it's better than human than raising. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's like I don't. My end goal in life is not to just build and work with AI. I don't know. It's a weird place the world's in. This guy's so shady, crazy how people still listen to him. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. It's a weird place. I'm part of the Opus tribe. I hail from the north. Let's see. With Sam saying AI is bought like a commodity, like gas, electric, water. So I saw that clip too. He basically said like they see tokens as like another form of utility, like intelligence as a utility. I did see that. What did Scam A do? Scam A just for some reason thinks AI is more important than humanity, I think, which is a weird place to be. I love it because it's fun to make stuff with. It sucks because it has become more corporate bullshit and make-believe money. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like AI as a tool is very, very awesome. But the cultish behavior around AI is not cool. See, I think the line between natural intelligence and artificial intelligence isn't as fine as people think. The brain is basically ML with emergent properties. Huh. I don't think that this is a true statement. I think if you talked to neuroscientists or people who study the brain, I don't think that they would agree with this simplified reductionist take. I've heard this take by more than one person, and oftentimes this specific take about the brain being ML or pattern matching comes out of the ML community, right? So I would be hesitant to go talk to like an actual neuroscientist or someone who studies the biology of the brain, and I don't think that they would tell you that this is how the brain works. I think they would tell you that there's a lot about the brain we understand and there's a lot about the brain we don't understand. Oh, this thing. Someone already debunked it. It's orders of magnitude less efficient. Well, that's good someone debunked it. Obviously, humans are novel and better. But for me, in my 20s, I see it. Oh, I mean, that's fair. You can see whatever you'd want to see. It doesn't mean that it makes it true. It is Pi Day. Oh, nice. Happy Pi Day. Good morning, Pooping Pigeon. Hello, Steven. Seems you are having a cold. Take care, mate. Oh, not a cold, but sometimes when I wake up, my nose can be a little stuffy. Fair point. Honestly, I'm pretty biased. Well, I mean, everybody. If you work in machine learning, you know, it's kind of like if a guy has a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's kind of that thing. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of the systems and a lot of the agentic harnesses that people are putting around agents to solve coding problems kind of looks like training a model. The way they almost build this feedback loop, right? And then they give it some sort of objective function. Like if you look at how Anthropic set up that C compiler experiment they did, that basically looks like them taking the fundamentals of how you train a machine learning model and applying it to an agentic system where they just basically set up an objective function, put the thing on a loop, and then give it feedback based on that, how close it is to accomplishing that objective, and then run it. Which is kind of funny. It's like, yeah, if you got a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Man, if I could Matul, I'd be rich and not in poverty. What's Matul? Mool. I don't know what that is. Hello, floaty devs. 2022/7 is closer to pi than 14 divided by 3. I don't even know what that means. Alan D'Souza, if we sit back and think about the direction of the tech is actually going towards, I feel scared of what will become of an individual. Maybe 10 years down the line, humans are inherently lazy. I'm not worried about. I'm not scared, but I do believe you that like large language models make it really easy for people not to do work. For sure. Good morning, Tafiq. It's actual because pi is 3. Oh, I get it. I get it now. I was confused there for a second. I was like, why are we talking about these random numbers? Matrix multiplication. Again, I don't think you necessarily need to be able to do it, right? Like, you can probably accomplish some of this stuff or learn about some of this stuff. But I don't think you necessarily gonna get paid lots and lots of money just to do matrix multiplication every day. Floaty, what's your stance on Linux? I just did the big jump. Oh, nice. Very cool. I don't really have a stance on Linux other than I think it's a good operating system. I just don't use it like as a daily driver myself, but I use it as a way to host a lot of my applications. It is the OS of choice on all the servers I have. So yeah, I was just talking to someone about that. The way they see it going, I think, is human, AI model, CPU. We cut out the 10 layers of communication, and people's thoughts are just executed as machine. Huh. I don't know if I see that happening, but I see. I understand how people arrive at such conclusions. How do you get physical exercise while working in tech many hours a day? I just do it. I mean, I was, working out. I started working out almost every day. So since the age of 12, I've probably worked out just about every day from then till now, probably 95% of the days. It's just something I do. It's like brushing my teeth. All right. What were we doing? Oh. We were going to test this. Did it work? It doesn't look like it worked. Oh. This is valid. I don't like this music. Oh no, I think I like doing that. Okay. So what do we need to do here? So we need to implement the generate content async function, which is currently not implemented. We also need to add Gemini client options. So this will be namespace is stevesbot.library Gemini. This will be a public, shut up Copilot, a public sealed class Gemini client options. I'm actually going to follow the same pattern I used for the REST client. So we will need, let's see, we will need public string API URL. We will need public string model. Actually, let's call that model ID. And we will need our API key. And I think that's it. Do you like using tab completion, or do you think it's just a burden? No, I think tab completion is good. I just have largely kind of backed away a little bit from using AI to do authoring of code for me. I haven't enjoyed the feeling. The more I use AI to write code, whether it be agentically or through tab completion, the worse I feel as a programmer and developer. And I hate that feeling. Like, I feel like I'm getting worse, not better. So I've largely kind of stopped using it. I'll use it occasionally. Like, I used it yesterday, actually. I used it yesterday to, like, stub out a bunch of test cases for a class. And I used it earlier in the week to write a README for one of my projects. So, like, I'm using it in cases where I'm making, like, the fundamental choice that, like, I know how to do this and I don't really care to do it right now, or this will save me time and I'm in a hurry, like that. But I'm not just, like, defaulting into using it all the time, no matter what. Is kind of where I'm at. And that doesn't mean that you guys have to do a similar thing. It's just selfishly, personally, where I'm at with it, you know? So nothing wrong with using AI if that's what gets you excited, and that's how you like to code, you know what I mean? It right now it doesn't seem to be the best thing for me. Yeah. I could probably organize this stuff a little bit better. Let's see. So now we need to do is we need to get a hold of the client options the same way we do it in here. So this will be Gemini options. This will be Gemini options. This right here is going to be not Discord options, but Gemini client options. I don't know if we need... We definitely need the... I don't think we need the authorization header there. I think we need... I think it's like xgoog or something like that. I can't remember what the header is. Gemini... GitHub. I'm pretty sure it's x-goog-key or something like that. I think you can also put it in the query string if you want to, but I need that handwritten code for my training. See, James, I'm participating in AI. I'm contributing to AI. I'm just doing it differently, you know? I personally, I'm kind of a radical. I personally believe that any AI model that was trained on publicly available data should have to be put into the public domain. I'm kind of a radical in that way. Let's see. API key, Google header. Yeah, I was right. xgoog-API key. And then instrumentation. Hold on, why am I doing that in here? Oh, because I have to set, I'm doing that because Discord requires me to set the user agent. So I don't need to do that in here. Get rid of that. Let's see, SP, what's wrong with you? Does not contain a definition for get required service. Well, that's just not true. I agree, Claude should be free. Dude, yeah. Well, I don't know if it should be... Okay, it would be awesome if it was free. I don't know if it should be free, but like the models... The model itself, like if you wanted to take and host the model or use the model, right, for your own needs, you should be able to do that, in my opinion. I don't necessarily know if other people should be forced to make the inference, because it does cost actual like resources, right, to run the model and run the inferences, but you should at least be able to use these things for your own needs. It should be like SQLite is, you know what I mean? In the public domain, free for everyone to benefit from. I don't know why it thinks that. Get required service. Gemini client options. Base address. Oh, that was literally why I was angry, was just because I didn't have the... Huh. So we set the base address, we give it our API key. Great. but then we're also going to need to reference those options in the client itself. So we need to inject those here, where we're going to say private read-only options of Gemini client options, and this will be Gemini. Just do options. Then we'll do the same thing here, but we'll say DIW underscore options. Nope, not underscore options, options. This will be options, and then we'll set this like so. And then we'll just add a parameter to our constructor. And these need using statements. Like so. Hey, good morning, David. Like how open should OpenAI be? Like how open should OpenAI be? Well, it's the OpenAI story is particularly fascinating because OpenAI was started as a reactionary force to the fact that a lot of the AI work that was going on was happening inside large companies like Google. And it's interesting because the whole ethos behind OpenAI was never about making commercial products or making a profit or making money. Like they originally told investors, like, you should consider any investment you make in us like a donation. Because they even said, I think at one point in their investment documents, they even said you should consider your investment like a donation because we don't know what money will mean in a post AGI world, because they were so committed to this idea of like, we're going to focus on AGI and we're going to bring it to the world for the betterment of all humanity. And like how quickly that ethos got dropped, right? As soon as somebody could see money coming into the bank account, everyone was like, yeah, nah, fuck that. Stock options and bonuses. That's what we want. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that AI. It was this idea. We were all excited about AI because of this idea of AGI, this thing that could tangibly make our lives better. And now it's like that aspirational vision has been completely walked back and watered down to this idea of like, well, we're just 3 really large companies that are building these huge models, and we want to extract value from you by selling you that intelligence via tokens, and we want your money. I mean, I'm not against anybody making money, but it just feels kind of shitty to me. Let's see. We want to do. We want to do this. We want to say. We have input, so we're going to do var using var content equals new string content, and this will be var JSON equals JSON serialize request like so. Whoops. JSON serializer dot serialize. David Bailey, go build something, anything. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I always wanted to get into coding, but don't know where I should start. Do you have any advice, my good sir? Oh, David was talking to you. Yeah, I guess my advice would be what David said is yeah, build something. Obviously, like if you don't know how to code, like my son just last night, for the first time ever, my oldest son last night asked me if I would teach him how to code. So me and him sat down for about 30 minutes together and worked through the first few lessons on Free Code Camp. And then he was working through the lessons even before bed all by himself on some other lessons. So if you don't know how to code, or you don't know like what any of all this stuff is or what it means or the vocabulary or the language, I would encourage you to go take a peek at Free Code Camp. That'll help kind of get your feet underneath you. But if you already sort of know a little bit about it, then yeah, go build some projects. Try to find a problem in your life that you could solve with code and see if you can't implement a solution. All I remember back in high school was print F hello world or something. Yeah, so you might take a look then at freecodecamp.org. But I do second David's kind of opinion about like just try to avoid getting stuck in the constant rabbit hole of overthinking and researching, and like pick something and try to make progress at it. That would be my thoughts. Okay, we'll do var request equals new. What is it? Gemini request. I wonder what the default. Let's just do default temperature. Doesn't Google use for their temperature? I think they use 0 to 2, right? Let's see, Google Gemini API temperature. Pretty sure it's so it defaults to 1. Where are you? Temperature. Oh, that's for Gemini 3. So is it different for other models? Let's see. Gemini 2.5 flashlight temperature. So it looks like 1 is the default there, but you can go from 0 to 2. So I'll just.
Did we just become best friends?
1.0. Zintalu, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. So now what we can do is we can say, okay, we have some content here. Content equals new. We have some parts, right? Oh no, this is an array. Like this, and then we can do new. Content parts. And then we'll do new. And the text will be whatever the input was from the user. Like so. We could probably make this a little less ugly by just adding, let's add a method called public static Gemini request from, let's do string, and let's actually call this just text. And then let's take the code that we have here.
Did we just become best friends?
Laura, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And let's just return it here. That. Save us a little bit of space over here. So then we can just do Gemini request dot from, give it the input. Booyah. Then we've got to serialize that. Then we're going to use that in our content, and we're going to say it is of type application/JSON. And I think we also need to specify the encoding, which is going to be UTF-8. Like so. Now, why are you unhappy? Cannot use local variable content before it is declared. Oh yeah, this should be JSON. Like that. Nice. So that's how we'll build our request body. And then we'll say, we're going to say using var response equals await client dot host, and we need to build that URI. So let's do var request URI, which is going to equal new URI, and this is going to be URI kind dot relative. And this will be an interpolated string. So we're going to want to get the base. It looks like this. But instead of model, we want options.value.model ID. Like that. And then that will be request URI and our content. We'll also have to pass our cancellation token. So this is how we build the request. And then this is the response. And then we need to handle the response. I'm Zintalu, by the way. Oh, hey, what's up? Talu Kara, I remember you. You've been in my stream before. Oh, you're Zintalu on Twitch? Oh, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that, man. That's super kind. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hope you're doing well. Hope life's treating you good. Good morning, Bartek. Nice to see you. Thanks, man. I'm going to look it up. Also, are you working on some kind of bot right now? Yeah, I'm working on a Discord bot, or I have a Discord bot, but we were going to add functionality to it to where it could respond to messages. Basically, try to make the bot a little bit more of a personality in the Discord server. And then my other thought was that if I hook it up to an LLM, then I could also have it do some interesting things, right? Through natural language, which I thought might be fun or interesting. I'm not really sure exactly what those interesting things would be, but I think it's kind of an interesting capability to add to it. Okay. And then now that we have our response, let's do if response.isSuccess status code is false, then we want to do something. We want to log it. So let's do log, let's do var error equals await response.content.read as string async. We'll pass our cancellation token. I guess it's CT. And then we'll just log this. So let's get a logger in here. Oh, we have a logger. So let's say what do we want to say? We basically want to just know that this happened. So we'll do logger.log warning. It's not really an error. We expect this to happen sometimes, especially when we hit the rate limits. So let's say request to generate content failed, and let's do status code and then any content. So what did I call this? Did I call this error? I guess let's call this error content. Error content. And then we'll just do response.status code and error content like this. And then instead what we'll do is we'll just say what's a funny way for the bot to say couldn't let's see. Let's just do oh boy. I'm not sure what happened. Can't seem to respond right now. I don't know. I can't think of a more clever thing to say. And then we'll do JSON response equals await response dot read, or sorry, content dot read as JSON async. And this is where we'll say, okay, read this as a Gemini response. We'll pass in our cancellation token. Do we not have a Gemini response? I thought we made one of those. Oh, I called it just response. Response. So why did I call it a Gemini request then? This should really just be that. Okay. So we have read from JSON async. This must be an extension, which it is. All right, and then if this is null, we also need to handle that case, I guess, where we say var or return. Is there a reason to do it that way versus... I think this might throw. So let's see, reads the HTTP content, returns the value that results from deserializing. Does it throw though? I can't remember. Read from JSON async. Does it throw? Not supported. Okay, I don't like that. So what I want to do is, I guess, catch it, I think, is what I want to do. response. Response content, I guess is what I call this. I think I want to put a try catch around this. Where I say catch exception when E is JSON exception. Or really, I mean, really honestly, any exception. Honestly. And I just want to say modify to catch a more specific variable use declared but never used. So it is going to be used because I'm going to log it. Logger.log error E. And I'm going to say just like I guess I should probably, you know what, now that I'm thinking about this, it probably just wrap the whole thing. Why am I just wrapping that single operation? Let's just do the full thing here in a try catch. And we'll say, get rid of that, get rid of that. We'll log the error, we'll say, failed to generate content. And then we'll just return the same message up here. So let's do error message. But yeah. Okay, so it's unhappy that I'm catching this because it's so specific. So I need to disable that. I think that's a dumb rule, honestly. CA 1031. Let's go to the very top of the project. Let's just disable that everywhere. CA 1031. Restart Omni Sharp. Okay, now that we have the response content, we should be able to say return response content dot text. But we don't with it right now, so I need to actually implement that. What's up, party people? Good morning, Justin. Good to see you. What are you working on right now, by the way? Yeah, we're just we're trying to hook up the Discord bot so that you can talk to an LLM through the Discord bot. That way the Discord bot kind of has a little bit of a personality to it, which I think might be fun. And then we can also then use the functionality of the language model to do stuff with it. Like one of the use cases I thought would be fun is like have it rank our memes. I thought that would be kind of funny. which that begs the question: Does 2.5 flash support? So 2.5 flash light images. Does it support that? Let's see, capabilities. Grounding with Google Search, structured output. Oh yeah, it does. It does images. Maximum images per prompt 3000. Does documents, does videos, parameters. So it does all that. Okay, cool. This will work. That'll be fine. Okay. So let's add a property to our response that does this. So we'll say, oh, I already have it. Never mind. Past Steven was already thinking about this. Get text. Okay, so if response content is null, then we will return an error message. Actually, I'm gonna do I probably should log this though. Let's see, failed to generate content. But it's actually more like the real reason we're logging this is request to generate content failed. No, it's more like
Did we just become best friends?
unable. Alberto, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that.
Did we just become best friends?
Sergio, appreciate you. Thank you guys. That's very nice of you. So let's do unable to read content from response. And let's do var content. We do the same thing we did up here. It actually, I don't know why, this actually makes me think it's, let's do this. Let's do var content. Do I need to do a using here? Does response implement iDisposable? HTTP response message. I think it does implement it. Yeah, it does implement response. Does response content implement disposable? Whoops, not that. Can you make a living off coding? I mean, I think so, and a lot of people do. I know that it's kind of scary right now. A lot of people are kind of freaked out and have a lot of anxiety about that because of AI, but I think I have probably 20 years of working left. So I'm 32. I hope to be in a position where by the time I'm 52, work is somewhat optional in the sense that like I have enough money invested that if I need to tell my boss to go kick rocks, I don't have to worry about being broke or out on the street. But you know, that's, I don't know. We'll see if I can get 20 more years out of this skill set. If I can't, then I'll just go do a different job. But I'm optimistic at this point, Joseph. Dr. Lobenschatz, hey, I'm trying my hand at web dev. Can you tell me the stuff you're using like for front end? So I personally like to use Vue for front end. This project doesn't have a front end to it. It's all back end stuff. But I personally like Vue for front end. But if you're just getting started with web dev, I'd really encourage you to go learn just like basic vanilla CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, just like the basics. Like how do you, if I gave you a single HTML file, right? Can you take that single HTML file and can you build a web page with it? Right? No external libraries, just using the built-in browser APIs. I would encourage you to go do that at least once, just to explore the basics. I also think that's important because then when you go use something like Vue or React, things will make more sense, in my opinion. I think trying to learn it in the opposite direction is more confusing. So trying to learn React before you know JavaScript or HTML or CSS is a little bit confusing, in my opinion. I know people have done it because I've had people tell me they've done it that way, but to me that seems confusing. How to stop game addiction and start coding? That's a tough one. I love playing video games, but I actually like coding more than I like playing video games. To me, coding is equally as fun as gaming. It's not quite as fun as lifting weights. Lifting weights, doing physical exercise, jujitsu, that sort of stuff still takes the cake for me in terms of like pure enjoyment. But after that's probably gaming, or in this case, it's probably coding then gaming for me. So I don't know if I have good advice to figure out how to stop the addiction. I was listening to the stand-up podcast the other day, and one of the guys on there, I think he goes by Trash, he was talking about how the fact that like he just got rid of his gaming consoles. Like he basically said like I'm going to stop gaming and I'm going to spend all the time that I was gaming on coding. And the way he stopped gaming was he kind of like got rid of his stuff. And my brother did something similar too in college, where my brother, I guess, found it difficult not to game. And so he just got rid of his gaming stuff, if I remember right, in college. So if you're having the temptation, maybe it makes sense to just remove, like, you don't have to sell it or get rid of it. Maybe give it to a friend or give it to a family member or something, but don't keep it like in your physical environment. Might be a good option. And what Justin said, if you can make coding feel rewarding, yeah, the more you can gamify the coding experience, the better. This is going to be, okay, so this is not, because this is going to be a string. So we're going to say var response content. And then we can get rid of the error content, and we can say, let's just do content like that. So we'll just read it once. And then we'll use it wherever we need it. So instead of saying read from, we'll say content. No, not that. We want response content. Which then means what we want to do here is we want to do put that down here, and this is going to be error content. This will be, what's a good name? What's a let's see, maybe just Gemini response. And then instead of doing that, we'll use the serializer to say JSON serializer.deserialize. And we want to deserialize to response, and we want to have the response content like this. Oh, that doesn't work for stream. So if Gemini response is null, then we'll say unable to deserialize content from response, and then we'll just say response content here. That way we can explain to ourselves why. There we go. And then if we do have the Gemini response, we should be able to get the text. So Gemini response.text. Cool. Now the only thing left to do is to configure all this. So we need to add a new entry into our example settings. And it's going to have very similar options to this. So this will be Gemini. And it won't have app token, it'll have model ID. And it will have model ID. What else? API key. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was. API key, model ID. There we go. Then we'll copy this, and I'm going to do this off stream because it's got secrets in it. So let's go into Steve's bot. Let's open up. So AE. Whoops. Okay, and then we're going to open desktop. Where do we need to go? Repositories? Yeah, repositories. Steve's bot. This is in the worker. Okay. Ah, crap. I forgot to copy this thing correctly. I always do that, man. Hold on, why is this not working? Leader Y. Okay. There we go. So API URL is going to be the base URL of the Gemini API, which I believe is something like this. HTTP generative language. I'm just getting from the documentation. And then the model ID is Gemini 2.5 Flash. That's what we're going to use for the default. No, actually, we're going to use Gemini 2.5 Flash Lite. Light. Copy. Dude, I love this little notepad app I built. It's like, it's so fun using your own stuff. Let's see, and then we need our API key. Okay, so I set up all the configuration. So I think now we should be able to test this bad boy. Let's see. So we should have request, service extensions. We're setting the header. That'll configure our HTTP client correctly. We have implemented our methods. I think the last thing we have to do is we actually have to register it. So where do we do that? builder dot services dot add Gemini clients. Okay, now I think we're ready. So let's restart this. Let's go to our Discord sandbox. Let's wait till it comes online here. The way your bot responds to something is like you have a bunch of words ready for it, or your bot take it from somewhere else. I don't know what I'm writing. I hope you get it. No, you're doing fine. Yeah. So basically it'll take, if somebody tags the bot in a message, the idea is that that message will get taken, sent to the Gemini API to generate a response to it, kind of like you would in a chat, a chat bot, and then it will pass that back into Discord. That's the whole idea. So we should say, hi, what is your name? Uh-oh, something broke. No service for type I Gemini client has been registered. What? Is that true? I guess it must be true. All right, let's go back to program. What did I forget to do? So in the Discord REST API, oh, is that what did I forget to add the type? I Gemini client. Oh, I think I registered it in the wrong project. Whoopsies. My bad. I want it in the worker project. Excuse me. Then we can remove it from the other one. Okay, now let's restart. Good morning, Blackfire. I am trapped. Hey, Steven, how's everything holding up? It's holding up good, man. I got to get off here at 7 o'clock my time because I got to go upstairs and pack. We're going to visit some family for spring. We're actually on spring break. My kid's spring break started Friday. So we're going to go visit my mom and my wife's mom today and tomorrow. And then on Monday, we're going to drive across the state of Missouri to Cape Girardeau, where my brother lives. And we're going to hang out with my brother's family for spring break, which will be fun. They just had their second kid, and I haven't met her yet. So I'm very excited about meeting my new niece. It should be a fun week. I don't know how much streaming I'll be able to do. I'm planning to take a couple laptops with some streaming gear just in case I can find a time and space to do it. But it may be a quiet week from me here on stream. Okay, that's running. Let's do playground. Yo, what is up, my guy? Damn, it didn't work again. No service for type library Gemini client options has been. Gosh dang it, Steven. You. Let's see. Add options. Yes, we need to do this. Gemini. Find options. Like this. And it looks like I'm doing some sort of interesting... Why did I do that? I must have did that because I didn't want... I must have did that because I didn't want to have to take a dependency on... Honestly, this could probably happen inside of... So let's actually... I don't know why... I think this was a stylistic choice that I made, so I should probably stick with the pattern I had. So let's do services like this. And then the pattern, looks like the pattern I had going was I register the option as a singleton so that I can just call for it. Which I guess I kind of like. So do return or rename Gemini options. But that also means that I have to go back to the client and I actually have to update it to say don't take one of these. You're going to take just the actual options. That's probably why I did it. At the time that I wrote this project, I must have been like anti-I options or like anti-using I options. So now we'll just do, I don't know why, probably a talk or something I listened to or a book I read or something at the time. It's crazy. This was almost 6 months ago when we built this, or 9 months ago at this point. It's crazy how fast time goes. Okay, now everyone should be happy, right? Famous last words. So now the call to add Gemini client does everything we need. It wires up our options, registers the options as a singleton, adds our HTTP client, which is our Gemini client. Let's try again. Love that. Congrats to your brother and family. Thanks, Justin. That's super nice of you. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have fun. It's always good when the family gets a new baby, you know. There's nothing better than, there really is no bigger blessing in the world than a new baby. Let's see, you're online. Click at bot playground. Yo, bro. Oh, cool. It worked. Okay, so we got an error. Oh boy, I'm not sure what happened. I can't seem to respond right now. So let's see what that error was about. Let's see. Invalid JSON payload received. Unknown name. System instruction. Cannot find field. Oh, that's because the serializer is not serializing things correctly. So we need to go to JSON content. Let's add a private static field. Private static read-only JSON serializer options equals new. And we're going to do naming. Oops, sorry. JSON options. Don't think that, I think that's going to complain, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll do naming property, naming policy equals JSON property naming. Oh, there you go. Camel case. And then we need to go down to wherever we serialize the request. we need to pass that in. So we need to say JSON options like this. What is your name, bro? Maybe I did it too early. Oh, I didn't tag him, that's why. What is your name, bro? Gosh dang, I cannot get this to work. Failed to create message. Why did we fail to create message? Bad request. Alright, well then we should be logging that so I can see why we failed. But we're not. So let's go to the Discord client. And let's do a similar thing here. Failed to deserialize message. Why would I do this? Let's see. We're gonna do var response content equals await response.content.read as string. Hey D, what's up? Good to see you. He's hold on, what's going on? He's insulting you, by the way. Damn 8. Who said 8? I think I missed the 8. Did someone say they have eight siblings? Is your brother also a programmer? No, my brother's not a programmer. My brother works for a Christian youth ministry organization. So it's kind of like a courier path. Yeah, basically, I'm basically using the Discord bot as like basically like a front end Elang. But the nice thing is like the Discord bot can do things in your Discord server, obviously, right? You can, but then we can also, now that we have an LLM wired up, we can also do a little bit more complex things using natural language. Like we can give the LLM some tools and allow it to do different things. So I think it'll be an interesting playground of sorts. Having a big family is kind of fun sometimes. Yeah. Family is difficult. Family can be difficult for sure. Let's do status code, and then let's do content. And then let's do here, instead of doing this, we're going to do JSON serializer dot deserialize. No, don't generate a method. That's not what I want. Yeah. And we'll pass in the response content, like that. We also need to add, probably need to add the private, read-only, private, static, read-only, JSON serializer options. Do naming, property name, case sensitivity. True. So the whole point of that is so that we can then say failed to deserialize message, create response, and then we can do content. And we really should follow that. We should really follow that same pattern in all these methods instead of doing it the way we are doing it. So let's just go ahead and do that refactor right now while we're here. So we basically just want to always read the content as a string so that we have it available to us for logging purposes. And then we can do this content, response content. See you, Justin. Have a good day. See you, David Bailey. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. I'll be wrapping up here too pretty soon. I got to go pack. Otherwise, my wife will yell at me for making us late. Failed to serialize gateway response. And then here, instead of doing this, we do JSON serializer.deserialize. We give it the response content. Response content. That. So URL. That looks good. Gateway response. Log the error. And then here too. Look at this. And then we'll say content. Hey, what's up? I should be dead. Good to see you. What's up, Noku? You know what C# is missing? Raw pointer that allows me to write into memory. I shouldn't and crash the whole place. Well, you can actually use the unsafe keyword in C# and you can take over doing unsafe code inside an unsafe block. So you can probably accomplish whatever it is you're looking to accomplish with the unsafe keyword. Voltaire, do you remember what day you worked on Spacetime DB? I don't remember exactly what day that was. I can look back at my streams, because I think I put it in the title of my stream. One sec, let me look. Did I put it in the hold on, I may have not actually put it in the title of the stream. I guess I didn't. See, this is the problem. I don't think. No, I don't remember what day that was. Okay. So we have get me. Yeah, we got the response content. And then same thing here. We're going to switch this out to response content. And then we're going to change this call to nope. Delete that. JSON serializer dot deserialize. And then we're going to pass the JSON option, which I think I forgot to do. And then we'll do content. And this is response content. Nice. So I think I forgot to pass the options up here. And now is it the next one? One of these I think I forgot to pass. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we just have a way to log the content at any time we have a request that does in fact fail, which is good. Let's go ahead and copy this really quick. Let's take this back over to the Gemini client. Oops. Let's reuse that. Now, wherever we're serializing, we need to serialize with those options, and then we also need to deserialize with those options. Let's go here. Yeah. Okay. Let's try. Oh, you know what? I literally just remembered this. I don't think I am capturing the Discord message content now that I say that. So in the Discord message, I need to get the content of the message. So how do I do that? Discord API message content. API message resource. Where is it? Message resource. Content. Okay. So it's literally just content. It's just a string. So we can just add right here, we can say content. We'll need to figure out how to get attachments though. So if someone wants to send an image or something, like I was saying, if we wanted to like, hey, rank this meme or rate this meme, we'll need to figure out how to do that. But we'll do that a different day. So this just needs to be content. This will be, I'm going to try to use my good Venfu here. So we do DIW. No. DIW. Yeah, there we go. Let's d string.empty. And then we have to go back to in our handler. Generate content. So instead of hello, we need to pass the content. So we'll do mcde.data.content. That. The other thing we can do too with the WebSocket API is we'll also be able to simulate the bot typing while the message is being generated. That's another thing we can do too, which would be kind of fun. All right, let's turn that off. I think we fixed, or at least I think we fixed. So let's restart this. Good morning, Delusional Dev. Good to see you. No longer working on the finance thing. I am still working on the finance thing. I deployed it, so I have it deployed out on the actual internet, and I'm kind of putting it through kind of like battle testing. If that's a bad way to describe it. I'm basically like kind of putting it through its paces as it's actually syncing data back from an actual bank account of mine. And I'm just trying to get an idea for like how often the syncs happen and what the cost is. I think if I read the documentation right, the only thing I should be charged for is how many accounts I have connected. Awesome. So we're processing syncs. We have 13 processing. So I should only be charged. So I only have one account connected. So theoretically, I should only be charged 30 cents for that one account, I think. So what we're doing right now is we're kind of testing that theory before we jump headfirst. Let's see, physical OS. See, looks like it's synced 2 transactions this morning, which is pretty cool. It's synced 4 last night at midnight. So we're still working on it. We're just kind of taking a little bit of a break for the moment while we do a little bit of testing. So that's why we're working on the Discord bot at the moment. I do not have a name.
Did we just become best friends?
Time Kimfully, thank you for subscribing. So it worked. This message came back from the Gemini API. So let's say can you tell me who the President of the United States is? The current President of the United States is Joe Biden. I guess that shows when its training data is. Let's see. In C#, is there a built-in class for making HTTP requests? Uh-oh. Did we break something? Something broke. Let's see. Unable. Must be 200 or fewer in length. Oh, interesting. So Gemini responded with a output token that's too long. Interesting. So how do you deal with that in Discord if you're going to send a message that's, I guess you have to break it up? Okay, so that's an interesting. Let's add a couple to-dos around that. To do LLM can be wordy. Discord has 200 limit on message size. Need to handle that. We could also do it by, in here, we could implement a limitation on the output tokens. I'm pretty sure in the generation config, I'm pretty sure we can set something in there. I don't know what it is. Gemini API limit output tokens. I think there's an actual property that you can set on the request. Like maybe a max output token thing. Let's see if I can find the documentation. Max Gemini API generate content config. I tell you what, Google's documentation is kind of shitty. I mean, it's there, like all the information's there, but you really have to work to get at it. There we go. Max output tokens. So let's do public. Wonder what the default is. Max output tokens. The default value varies by model. See model.output token limit. Maximum output tokens is 65,535. We should probably limit the tokens, honestly. So let's do int max output token. Set that to. Let's do. Let's do like 1,000. But we should handle whenever the limit is too large on the Discord side so it doesn't just break. That's what Bing says, Copilot. Come on, man. I think it's a little outdated information. Yeah, for sure. It's trained on old data. You wrote 2000? What? I wrote what? Yeah, but I think 2000 is the limit for Discord. I think that's the limit that we're running into. Let's see, Discord message size limit. Yeah, 2,000 characters. So I wonder how do you step around this? Users often bypass these limits by sending multiple messages using text, using third files under. So you'd have to make like multiple replies, I guess. I mean, honestly, that's a lot of words. I mean, that just means the model is being way too chatty, you know? So let's actually, so 1,000 tokens is roughly 375 to 750 words. Let's see.
Did we just become best friends?
Mr. Nobody, thanks for the sub. Roughly 500 tokens. The thing is, yeah, I don't know. I need to think more about this. I can't really decide if I want the model to be constrained. I'm gonna set that like that, and then let's just leave that note in the handler that says Discord has 2,000 character limit. I'm just not really sure right now how to handle multiple messages. Like, do you create it in like a thread where each message is tied to its previous one, or do you just send them all in a line? Not sure how to handle that. All right, let's retry this. And then I gotta go. Because I told my wife I was gonna pack this morning and she wants to leave in like 50 minutes. And so I need to go take a shower and pack and everything. Why say many words when few? Exactly. Exactly. I love it. We have some Office fans in the chat. That is my favorite TV show. My favorite TV show, The Office. Why say lot word when few word do trick? Me mechanic? Let's see. In C#, is there a built-in class for making HTTP requests? Did it again. Even with the additional... Huh. Well, that's interesting. Because the default setting now is set to 500. Max output tokens. That's the right word. Huh. How is your day? I do not have personal experiences or feelings, so I don't have days in the way humans do. Fine. How many days are in a year? Oh, it even does. Oh, nice. Because it responded in Markdown, I guess Discord can format it that way. That's cool. What is 10,000 times 3? Oops, forgot to tag it. What is 10,000 times 3? Cool. That's pretty cool. So it works. I mean, theoretically it works. There's some rough edges that we're going to have to work out, but it's functional. So let's do, cool. 350 to 500. So just constrain the tokens more. Okay, we can try that. Let's do. I think what I should do is I should constrain the tokens, but I think I should also handle if it does exceed the Discord character limit. I should handle that gracefully, right? Like I either should truncate the message or just handle sending multiple messages, one or the other. But let's try to constrain it and see what happens this time. And then I really do have to go. I've said I've had to go for like 10 minutes. Steven's personal clanker. It kind of is my personal clanker. It's going to be our personal clanker. We're going to use it in the Discord server. Discord's kind of an interesting application because you can basically kind of use it like your own personal UI. Like if you didn't want to have to build any front end for any application that you wanted to create, you could almost build all the backend logic and then just use Discord as like the UI to do all the things that you want your application to do, assuming you can get away with building all that UI around a bot. Although I think, doesn't Discord have like rich app UIs now? I think you can actually build like application, like forms and stuff in Discord now. I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure you can. So I think you could really leverage Discord in that way, which is kind of interesting. Let's see. Does C# have an HTTP client? There we go. Yeah, C# absolutely has an HTTP client. It's part of the .NET. Nice. Key features. See, it's just super wordy. And I think it got cut. It cut itself off here. I also don't have any system prompting around this, which we need to fix. All right, now I really do have to go, chat. I need to go. Let's hold on. Before we do that, let's add a to do. To do this, or actually, let's put that over here. To do, we should be able to pass. Actually, no. That should be in this guy. We need a system prompt to constrain model outputs. Alright, see you guys. See you guys should be dead. Hope you guys have a good day. Let's see, if you're new here and you want to come back and hang out, our schedule is normally 4:15 to 7 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch. For the next several days, that schedule probably isn't going to hold because I'm going on a trip. But that's normally when you can find us live. And then if you want to join our Discord, I'll put the link in the chat as well. So the schedule's in the chat, the link's in the chat. If you're new here, thanks for hanging out with me. Otherwise, I'll see you guys again maybe either on the trip at some point or when I come back. So, no promises. Just assume I'm on vacation for the next week, but I'll see you guys. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good day. Bye. Good to see you, Oblivion.